This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to My World. And of course, we couldn't do it without the Hall of Famer himself, your friend and mine, Double J, Jeff Jarrett. Jeff, how are you, man?
Conrad, how we doing, man? It's we're doing a little new software here, and man, your whole mug took up my big desktop. So good to see you.
Good to see you, dude. You lit the internet on fire this past weekend. Everybody was talking about old Double J. Of course, you never know where Jeff's going to show up. All of a sudden, we saw you on Fox. You were on Friday Night SmackDown for WWE. I guess you just took off Saturday, you lazy bum, to watch football. And then Sunday.
Let's not bring up football. Go ahead.
Yeah, my bad. Sunday, you wrestled, I think, for the first time since April of 2019. Do I have that right?
April? Ooh, but now I'm going to start chastising the researchers. They're going to, when was the last time? I thought
Sean Ross Sapp tweeted it was your first match since April 2019.
Well, Sean Ross, I wonder, maybe we need to verify this. I thought my last match, and a guy in the dressing room said, "Hey, your last match was on Raw," and I heard that. I think, I don't know, Raw February, right after the Rumble. Speaking of Rumble, which is coming up this weekend, Jeff and Eric, I'm not going to get too far ahead, but I think it was maybe Sean Ross Sapp. Maybe there were some independent shots because when I went back, I did have 4 or 5 dates I had to get done. So maybe he dug down in the archives. But yes, it's been a little busy, just a little busy.
Well, let's start at the beginning. Tell me about Friday and what your experience at SmackDown was like.
Where did we start? That kind of came out of nowhere, and I was originally obviously it's in my hometown, and my son Cody had been talking about it. He ironically ended up not feeling well, so he didn't even get to come down. But yeah, all of a sudden, it's kind of a last minute deal, and hey, will you come down? And my old buddy Shinsuke got to be in a little deal with him and Boogs, and we reminisced, me and Rick, about the last time we had actually chatted, because we're both pickers, Conrad. We both played guitar, so we were chatting about that. But that was fun. I got to reconnect with a lot of folks, and me and you got to have a little catering, and Mr. Bischoff got to hold court in catering that he's commonly no. It was good. It really was great to see so many folks, and a lot of changes. It goes without saying, a lot of changes in every department in WWE. I mean, across the board. So there were some folks that were no longer with the company that I found out about. And change is good. It absolutely is at the very top of the list for success. You have to have change and turnover. And but it's unfortunate incidents, but life happens. So it was great to reconnect in so many ways. It was fun to do the pre-tape. I got several texts right after it aired, and they're like, "You're not coming out?" And I'm like, "No, I don't think I'll be out there in front of the live crowd." But no, it was fun. Wasn't it fun, Conrad? Did you have a good time? I'll flip it on you.
Get even more from the hottest new podcast going, My World, with Jeff Jarrett over at adfreeshows.com. Let me get granular here for a minute, folks. Not only can you get the entire My World episode library with 0 ads, new episodes come your way each week early, ad-free, and on video starting at just $9 a month. We've also got tons of exclusive My World bonus content waiting for you, plus unique interactive experiences with your old pal, Double J. You get to jump on and ask Jeff questions, and if you joined us in Chicago this year for Top Guy Weekend, you got to hang out the entire weekend. 100% the best value in all of wrestling. Strut on over to adfreeshows.com right now to sign up.
You have a good time Friday?
I did have a good time. It was good to catch up with some of my old friends and make some new friends. And I guess I wanted to ask, is this the first time you've been around the company since you were no longer working with them in a full-time capacity?
Gotta be, right? Unless it's gotta be. I have stayed through the My World listeners. Shout out to Charles Robertson and Danny Engler. And, but anyway, there's several folks that came up to me, and, you know, as much as
Oh,
we like
oh, and let's not forget stupid ass Abyss. Who you
yeah, I forgot. Chris Park, the attorney.
yeah,
Um,
stupid
Mark,
ass Chris Park, who thinks that Joe Burrow is going to be the next Joe Montana. You had
oh
been
my
teasing
gosh.
him all day about how I had thrown him under the bus, and I never have. I was a big fan of Abyss, but you're exactly right. Chris Park, boy, he needs his eyesight examined. Joe Burrow, the next Joe Montana. Fuck out of here.
If I could, I won't go down a rabbit hole, but there is a running joke. I've played in fantasy football with it originated in all the TNA days. And gosh, Eric Young, Matt Conway are the commissioners because they kicked Rudy out of the league legitimately, stole his computer, got into his password, literally hijacked. It was a big coup, Conrad. That's a whole nother podcast. But so been in the same fantasy football league for years and years and years. And me and Abyss, we had the best two teams all year long. And we both got upset in semifinals, kind of like this weekend for real in the NFL. It happens. And then come to find out, I walked up to Kofi Kingston and said, I've never been more ashamed of you in my entire life. Dan Engler won the WWE fantasy football. It's just crazier things that happen. It's that Bills Chiefs game was crazy, but Rudy Charles winning the WWE, one of the fantasy football leagues up there. But anyway, it was great to catch up. And, you know, Conrad, the podcast chatter on Friday, obviously with you there, it took it, you know, to a whole nother level. But, hey, man, I saw Conrad. I've never met Conrad. I said, well, go right up to him. He's a kind feller. But no, it was fun to hear different folks. And, you know, there's some people in that organization, not like it's a foreign in there, that were around in 1999.
Yeah.
And that is the very first time that they knew that there's, I'll call it, how do I say that, Conrad? You know, the embellish, the 357.
Oh, yeah.
So however you want to say it, there's people that had heard that, but they knew like that ain't happening. It just not happening. And then they just didn't really, but the holes, and they really complimented you, Conrad. I always, but anyway, they're like, you know, Conrad, he narrated that story, but we got down to some questions, and he says, when I got, one of the guys who's in production said, pretty much when I got done with the Bash at the Beach episode, when I got done with the 357 Magnum story, he said, those are two events, Jeff, that I always kind of looked at you like, you are just borderline insane for those two events. But y'all answered every one of my questions, and he said it all connected the dots. So that's kind of a fun part about the podcast, that even people that were there that night, they go, oh, now it kind of makes sense while this and happened. And one guy was like, yeah, they got a couple of things wrong. He said, Jeff, I'll never forget, you were going into your dressing room and you had flour all over your head. So you didn't really walk out of the building with everything on it. You went in and showered, and we chuckled at you because you came out. You did shower pretty quick, because I left probably maybe 30, 45 minutes after my match. But anyhow, fun to reconnect on Friday, wasn't it, Conrad? And great catering, always.
Always, as we know it now, the Bischoff position. By the way, while you were telling us about Friday, I want to confirm Sean Ross Sapp was right. You did wrestle, as you said, on Monday Night Raw after the Royal Rumble. That would have been February 4th. It was you and Elias. But then you did a shot for AAA a couple of weeks later. And you did one for ICW over in Scotland. In March, you had another show in Mexico for AAA. But then your last match was in California against Dr. Wagner Jr., April 13th, 2019.
Wow.
Yeah. So nearly 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So, hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.